The first Descendant just got a brand new update with several new known issues. We also got some brand new starter guides and some tips and tricks to help you through your playthroughs. We got some really good information on weapon XP as well as some cool statistics with some other features. Additionally, we have some news around the mass caliber purchases, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things the first Descendant. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. We did get a brand new update last night. This is actually one of the bigger patches that we've had at least since launch. Although nothing too crazy, but known issues have finally been updated. And we had that serious game-breaking bug addressed and even resolved quite quickly here. So last night around 1:40 AM we did have an update when enhancing the module to decrease the maximum HP down 100%, the character becomes down. And they basically cannot be controlled, or basically they're stuck in that crawl animation. Again, I did cover that yesterday where that person figured out that they were just stuck in a down state. They said it has been identified when the maximum number HP drops below 10 due to enhancing the HP conversion module. They said that here the issue is scheduled to be fixed in hot version 1.02, and they said that if this error makes the game unplayable, please refer to the temporary workaround provided below. So if you wish to use another character, please force quit the game, go to the lobby and select another character from the Descendant list. If you wish to continue playing the character affected by the error, please submit an inquiry to customer support on the website and they will address the issue by retrieving and redistributing the modules. I went back to the other post that we covered yesterday about this. It doesn't seem like he updated if his was fixed in general. Although seemingly because they put this out so fast, I'm guessing that they did fix his issue. Also, they didn't include a link to customer support, so I'm actually going to include that link for you. I've noticed from other Reddit posts that people have been having issues finding the customer support section, so I'm going to link to you down below that. So that way, if you do have any issues or you run into this bug currently, you can contact them that way. They also have an additional post here that just went out this morning. So some new known issues have been updated. They said additionally, source of modules that can be obtained by combining in-access info is not displayed. That has been identified currently. 2 hardline suppression, special rounds, and impact round, shot focus, and shield collectors are attainable through combining. So it currently isn't displayed there for people, so if you do combine these together, you can get those by doing this. Again, really good to note there. I feel like the combination of modules is actually going to be really important. I haven't dismantled any of my modules because of this, and I think it just gives you Cooper Charge, which I can get fairly easy. So I haven't been dismantling modules for this very reason, because I do feel like this is going to come in handy later on. Again, I'm not too sure about that. I'll have to look into this more, but it does seem like this is starting to kind of pan out. We also had an update to the mass caliber purchases. So if you did a mass caliber purchase from the 4th to the 7th, meaning that you bought in a bulk or a bundle or more than one at a time, those are scheduled to be canceled on Monday. So it seems like, again, if you did purchase that and it came out of your bank account, more than likely it will be back either today or in the next coming days. Again, that could take 2 to 3, 4, 5 business days, but those did get canceled. We have a really good starter guide here for hard mode. Now, I was going to go over this in a Volby build guide or even a potential build guide sometime in the near future. Kind of once I had my build fully set up and ready to go. However, we did have a starter guide here, which essentially is exactly what I was working on. So you can kind of get a sneak peek here, although, to be honest, most Descendants are taking at least these starter traits. As this person pointed out here, you're going to want to increase your HP and defense. Those are going to be your main 2 modules. The other ones, basically the shield one, I think is potentially worthless at this point. For your firearm, you want to get attack and fire rate. Those are going to be the 2 highest pointers for DPS. So make sure you are maxing those out. In fact, you could literally take off every other module and just put these 2 on and you'll be set to go. As that is like the main point of your DPS, everything else is just a bit extra. And I point out a location here if you want to farm those upgrade materials, which is in the Sterile Land location, Rockfall, and Anticipated Ambush. I've been doing a few. I believe this is one of them that I was trying to do. There's a couple that are pretty good. To be fair, they're all really good to do, and mostly you should focus on module farming if you are farming anything specifically. Then you could kind of take down 2 birds with 1 stone there. That's at least what I did. I went and farmed the HP collector, although after about 2.5 hours, I did not get it, so I ended up leaving. Of course, here they also mentioned to farm good components, trying to get fire res, chill res, electric res, and toxic res on at least 1 of each, which is mainly all you can really do at the moment. Although this is significantly hard and not the easiest to do, I would recommend pushing defense. Right now, my character currently has over 50,000 defense. I don't really take damage anymore unless it's a certain mission or a certain intercept that requires a certain amount of res. Honestly, I would just push defense as much as you can and then work on getting that resistance if you need and swapping out a piece or 2 if you need so. Which, as they point out here, that hard intercepts drop build enabling transcendent modules and component with set effects. So you're going to want to be farming those hard intercepts as those will drop those set effects for you. Again, I more than likely will drop a build guide in the next coming days and weeks. Although I do want to finish my series on the Descendant guides first, which look out for one tonight. More than likely, I will have one out at the end of the day. Also big to note is the weapon distribution of XP. So essentially, all of your equipped weapons are receiving XP. However, they're distributed differently depending on what is active and what is inactive. So whatever weapon you have out that is active will receive 100% obviously of that XP. However, the inactive weapons are going to receive 20% of that. This is true regardless if you have them equipped in 1, 2, or 3 slot. And this is also true if you use any abilities. So if you're just using Bunny's run around, so you can actually farm for weapon XP while using an ability like Bunny's third skill, your active weapon will receive that XP. So that's a different way that you can farm up a weapon if you didn't want to use it. However, using a unique weapon like Glay, Freyna's ult, or even Volby's ult, that's actually going to give your weapon 0 XP. So those will not count. We also have 2 more guides here for the Void Shards. I linked a document sheet down below before for all the Void Shards and where to farm them. We have one that's a bit more condensed here so you can see where all the monomers and polymers are and inorganic and organics are. There's also this person working on a Void locations with shard rewards and skill type map. I hope they make more of these. These are really good and really handy so you can see on what locations and what map or what section of the map they're at. This is definitely going to help you guys that are farming Glay and a few other champions, Descendants. Again, hopefully this person keeps continuing on it. This was done by msanity over on the subreddit. We also had one more really neat statistic here. So essentially any zone that has a cap zone or any objective that has a cap area with a green circle, those take a different amount of time depending on how many players are on that platform or on that subsection. Now, 1 player will take a minute and 30 to cap, 2 players 1 minute 20, 3 will take a minute, and 4 will take 45 to 50 seconds. So as this post says here, more than likely you guys, if you're speed running, you shouldn't be running around downing things. You should be on that green platform, as that's what's going to get you through that objective the fastest. Now initially it's not going to save a ton of time, but if you are farming a mission specifically for anything with it, then your goal should be to drop this time down as quickly as you can. So hopefully with you guys farming, you can get a solid group there and them actually follow that. Yesterday also the first Descendant hit its highest peak ever, hitting over 264,000 players. Right now we're still above 200,000 even with it not being a weekend. That's a really good and really healthy player base. Hopefully that does continue in the future. And with August content coming out so soon, I believe it will so. Although I'm sure some people will be burnt out. I know a few people are stepping away from the game because of the burnout and because of how hard the grind is. Hopefully they do add some further incentives there, or even another way, or maybe even kind of bring down some of these grinds just a tiny bit, at least for some, because they are getting quite tedious. And I also do hope they replace that ball mechanic sometime soon on those bosses. But we'll have to wait and see on everything. However, that should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, I'd like to subscribe, and until next one. Deuces.